The anticipation for WWE 2K22 continues, and although we likely won't be getting brand new confirmations and huge announcements until January, as indicated by WWE Games, recently they did tease the return of a fan favorite mode slash feature, adding a bit of fuel to recent rumors. So let's talk about it, and let's talk some of the different ways that they could bring back the draft, how it might work based on today's product, and how they could improve on. You guys know the deal, hit those notifications and let's get into it. There's a lot of features that we want to see back in the WWE Games series. One of those is GN mode, and one of the reasons why GN mode was so good was because of the features that it had within it. Arguably the biggest one being the feature of the draft. Us being able to draft our own roster, manipulate it however it is that we want to, trade one superstar from one brand to the next, and of course just make those exciting and hard decisions. And well, it looks like the draft might be coming to WWE 2K22. Nothing is confirmed, of course, but WWE 2K did drop us a bit of a tease over on Twitter. BDE, who by the way we got a couple of collaborations coming up, so stay tuned for that. He tweeted out the following: "Wouldn't it be cool if you could draft your own roster in WWE 2K22?" And he added the thinking emoji. WWE mains account retweeted this and replied with the same thinking emoji. We also had the official WWE 2K devs account doing the same thing, so double dipping on the tease of us potentially getting some type of draft in the game, which will be awesome if included within Universe mode or within GN mode, if that is fully coming back, because there's no specific just yet. But all of this does add to the recent reports, rumors that we ended up discussing last month, that 2K was quote-unquote looking back to bring back a popular game mode from the SmackDown vs. Raw games series, that of course being GN mode. So this is just that extra teaser that we could be getting General Manager back, or something along the line related to that in the draft. I do mention again though, this is just a teaser for the time being. Can't wait to hear full confirmation on what type of game modes we will be getting for WWE 2K22. But I do like the fact that they're doing this because they did mention that we will not hear any more announcement from them until next year, until January, because they are fully focused on the game and want to use all this time all the way up to March to work on the game and give us the best possible wrestling game that we could get. Patrick did also mention that no promises, but we are talking about ways to share more about our progress to keep you all in the loop so you don't have to wait until next year. So maybe that is part of this tweet, them kind of letting us know of what's to come, but not necessarily confirming it just yet. When it comes to how the draft is going to work, that is going to be interesting because they do have a couple of options, different options that we have seen in previous WWE games. We got the most popular one, which usually takes us back to the SmackDown vs. Raw games, in which we get to be general manager of a specific brand, and that first thing you get to do after picking that brand is draft your own roster. In GN mode specifically, there was a bit more to it because of course you have some currency, you have different type of contracts that you could give to different superstars and so on. But it's a back and forth draft, and those top 5 superstars that you pick usually become a very intense situation. Who do you pick first? Who do you pick later on? Is your opponent gonna pick them ahead of time? And so on. This draft on GN mode was usually one of the best thing about GN mode. This type of draft has a more traditional feel to it, whereas the newer ones is sort of like what we got to see in WWE 12. If you guys play that Universe mode, then right after WrestleMania every single year, you get night 1 on Monday Night Raw and night 2 on SmackDown, both nights dedicated to the draft. Funny enough, when you play it out, it's almost identical as what we get nowadays on television, where after a match, we get the draft picks. In WWE 12 Universe mode, only one superstar get drafted after each match. Obviously, nowadays, there's a bit more superstars on the roster, so more will be drafted. Also, in WWE 12, you didn't really have control of who was gonna get drafted, you kind of just play through it. Once you finish the match, the game will bring out the draft graphics, and it makes you feel good because the anticipation is there with it. You get to see the graphic rolling through all the superstars, and then boom, somebody gets drafted. Their music hit and they make their entrance, and it's almost just as similar as we get to see it on TV nowadays. If they go with this WWE 12 simplified version of the draft in Universe mode, having it every year after WrestleMania or after SummerSlam, which it seems like it is the time for it to be happening nowadays, then I just want them to give us some extra options of us being able to either have it randomized or also do our own draft pick before the night, and then once we are playing it out, we get to see it played out completely how we want it. So they got some interesting choices, both of which definitely could be improved and both of which could be added into Universe mode or be brought back into GN mode if GN mode is fully coming back. I did already mention before that I would prefer them to just add a lot of the GN mode features, a lot of the good one, into Universe mode, and hopefully that is what they will be doing. But we're gonna have to wait and see what they are cooking up. Cannot wait for confirmations on it. Of course, I'll keep you guys updated, so make sure to hit those notifications. We will continue covering all the latest WWE 2K22 news, and we got more WWE games content coming up. You guys already know. I'll catch you on the next video.